What does our eyes say about who we are, the world we live in, and our soul? Our eyes are so divine. I think we take that's a part of our body that we really pay less attention to. And this week, I don't know, the universe is like, look at your eyes. Look, what do you think about your eyes? Look at your eyes and look at your eyes. And when I went in, this picture of this eye right here, I remember I saw a picture that someone said NASA first said the world looked like. Do we live in a black hole? Is that our eyes telling us where we live? Do we live in a black hole? The new Avenger movie that's out there, and I'm not going to give away anything, but it goes into aspect of the dark side of us, and where we're projecting that we live in this where we live. It squeezes the, let me say, the dark side of us. This is what Earth does. Earth, let me say, Earth or this materialistic world pull our darkest part of us, this flesh. This is what it does. And that's what I got from that movie, how the dark side of us is running this world. And you could tell, if you look at the eyes, you could tell that we live in something of a projection. We live in something of a projection. This eye is like what our movie screen is made up of. It's what our television screen is made up of. This is where they get the idea how to create these things. That's dark spot. We hear talk about them talk about the dark hole. I really think, and it's not darkness as we know it, but we live in this dark hole, the dark hole or something in space. I don't believe in space. I don't think there's really a space, but I think what our eyes is showing us is the realm that we live in. This is it. This dark hole in the center. There's Rupus Negro. Is the world flat? Is it circular? I don't think it's either. It's just a projection of electricity, magnetism. It is not physical. It's perception. We're perceiving all this because what we call a dark hole is where creation takes place, is where we can perceive anything that we want. Because look at the movie Matrix. Their real selves are somewhere else, and they're projecting this form in the earthly realm. And just a confirmation, and my mother had this dream a couple nights ago, and she dreamt that she was like on a tower or something, and that's the ocean around her, and she was so scared. And this young man, little boy, came to her and said, listen, wherever your eyes go, wherever your eyes go, your body will go. That is everything. That's what the little boy told her in her dream. Wherever your eyes go, your body will go. And it makes me think, and I went down into a rabbit hole. Listen, if you're joining me for the first time, this is Deep Ministry. I see things real differently. And I remember Elon Musk says, What happened in 2020 was they switched. Oh, let me go real slow here because I'm already, I have 2 strikes. Let me go real slow. So what happened in 2020? Everyone knows what happened in 2020. They shift our consciousness. It was a consciousness shifting. How many times has they done that? Shifting our consciousness. Because wherever the eyes go, the body will go. What's really running this realm? It's our consciousness. And they just have to shift our consciousness, and our body is there. Our body is the vehicle, and our consciousness is the driver. So this is what I'm thinking. How many times? So with the resets and all that, all they had to do is to shift our consciousness. So what's happening now when the vibration and the consciousness of the earth is rising? What's happening? Are they still able to shift their consciousness? Are they creating? Let me not go too deep because I really don't want my channel suspended. Yeah, so the eyes, so not only our eyes give us a look at the world we live in. Look at this eyes. This is the black hole. This is where we are, right here in the middle. This is the black hole, and they tell us to be scared of darkness and all that. It's not darkness as we know it. It's potential. It's potential to be anything that you want in this realm. So not only that dream that my mother had that tell us where the eyes go, the body will go. Remember in the Bible too, they tell us, listen, the eyes is the window, is the window, the eyes is the window to the soul. And yes, Joshua, what about people who are blind? They don't really need to see to blind. They don't really need to see to navigate around themselves. Their senses heightened. Okay, yes. Remember when we talk about eyes, there's a scripture in the Bible, and let me go ahead since you bring up that question. That says we have eyes, but we do not see. So when we're talking about eyes, we're not just talking about physically. The physical eyes. I see eyes as our soul. This is how our souls see this realm. We use it to see physically, and we use it to see in the spiritual realm. So when the Bible says we have eyes but we do not see, we're only seeing with the physical. We need to, in this time of vibration and raising our consciousness, we need to let our soul, we need to see the world through our soul, through our consciousness. We need to see the world through our consciousness. So yeah, so that's what I'm getting to. So when Moses was on got the 10 commandments, when Moses got the 10 commandments, and Moses said, when the people asked Moses, who sent you? He said, I am sent me. And all these years, we think it's the letter I. The letter I. What if it's his consciousness? What is it if it is the soul? The souls. This is the time we're living in. We have to be knowledgeable of our divine self. That's what they call consciousness, the soul. That's what they call consciousness, the soul, the spiritual aspect of who we are. The spiritual aspect of the windows of the soul. Look into somebody's eyes when you're talking to them. You look into somebody's eyes when you're talking to them. You can tell so much about them. Look into their eyes. So that's why when a blind person, their eyes. So that's why when a blind person, physically blind, but there you can tell. I've been so many blind people. Their other senses get so heightened. Their ears hear more. You touch them. Not you don't even have to come touch them physically, for them to recognize that somebody else is here. What if Joshua says, what if what we see is not real or reality? It's our perception. Whatever we see or is experiencing on earth is based on what we've been taught. It's based on what we're taught since we got here. It's just a perception of the real thing. Then nothing on earth is real. It's a projection. Study the eye, where our real self, or watch the movie The Matrix. Our real self is not this physical body. Who we truly are. Who we truly are is not this physical body. It's just a projection. It's just a vehicle that we're using in this realm. Maybe when we're on different dimensions, we use different realm. Maybe when we're on different dimensions, we use different vehicles. This Avatar. Watch the movie Avatar. Were they trying to tell us something? That's why, even though I don't go to church anymore, the Bible try to tell us all the time, we live in this world, but we're not of the world. The problem with us is we get so deep in this physicality, and that's not who we are. And everything is in plain sight. You might be like, deep ministry. So why are they hiding? They're not hiding anything. The Bible tells us you have to discern. No, look in your eyes. How many times you said look in the eyes and you'll tell them, and you tell if they're telling. You said look in the eyes and you'll tell them, and you tell if they're telling the truth, because your soul, that's the window that the soul use in this world to project itself in this world. Your brain is a receiver. This body is just receiving things coming in. So that's why when something happened to your brain, you could stay alive because it's just not stay alive because it's just not receiving the energy, the frequency coming in. Look how your eye works. Look how it works. Everything, it is a projection. It is a projection. Yeah, and I think I saw a picture before, and someone says this is how NASA, the first pictures that came from NASA, it looks just like this. I try to find that picture. I can't find, but I saw this today and I'm like, oh my gosh. Do we live in a world that look like our eyes? Huh? Is the map that they show us where everything is that correct? Or it's just a projection, it's just made it up? Hmm? To understand this, you have to understand who we are. And you have to understand that our divine soul is in this incarnation with us. But we totally ignore it. We totally come to this world and we think, listen, this is what it is. There's nothing outside of this. And when you die, you're going to go to heaven and you go to hell. We totally forget who we truly are. And where everything around us is showing us that there's more to what we know. There's more to that us than this materialistic world. Everything around us is showing that. So Joshua Bailey, I don't know if you're a troll, but I don't know what you're talking about. It's real. What's real? What's real, Joshua? What if there's not? There's no what ifs anymore. You either know or you don't. You either know or you don't. You either gonna continue with your knowledge of this world, or your higher self is calling you to a higher knowing. There's no what ifs. It's either yes you know or no you don't. We're not in the time where we used to go to church and they stay all night calling altar call and for you to come and sin and save and all that. You either understand, you're either being obedient to your soul or you're not. You came here for a purpose. You have to know why you came here. What's your divine purpose? Why you came here?
At that situation where the shadow of the
Okay,
grandstand.
mortal, you got to turn your TV off or lower your television. Yeah, Joshua, you got to know. There's a knowing. There's no giving anyone milk anymore. You got to know who you are. If you think this world is it, then you get to stay with it. Then you get to keep it. Then you get to enjoy it. If you think there's more to this world than that's what you see. That's your higher self talking. We're not here to convince. I'm not here to convince anyone that whatever I'm saying is true. I'm not here to convince you. You either feel it, you either have a knowing when you hear this or when you see this. You are a divine being, you're a God. You either know that there's some truth to what I'm saying or you don't. This is this channel. We're not here to debate. Jimmy Johnson 59. Blue and green are best people. I don't know what your eye colors say about you. We're just talking about eyes. I don't know I don't think that has anything to do with your personality, whether you're a good person or not. This world always want to divide. This world always, want to tell us what's good and what's bad. There's no good and there's no bad. We all come from the same source. It's oneness. You just at different level. I'm sorry that the first thing you see is good and bad, and no. This is not that kind of channel. Yeah, you can move on to some other channel. We're living in a time where I think someone says, listen, it seems as if 2025 going to be the last. Things are changing. Think the last days, not the end of the world, but the end of this that we're living in. This kind of world that we're living in. That's the time we're in. And you're not going to come up here on my channel and ready to talk about who's good people and who's bad. That means you're ready to stay in the matrix. Well, stay in the matrix. This channel is not for you. It's called Deep Ministry. You have to be able to think. You have to tap into your divinity, your gods. Your time here on earth is limited. Your time here on earth is limited. So
what does the eye color say about you?
what?
I said, what does?
That's not what the topic is.
Oh, I can't see all of it. What is the other? What does it say?
Now, if you read, we're not talking about what your eye color say about you. That's not the topic. So if you don't have anything to say on the topic, you could just get down.
What I can't. Can you see what is? I can't see the whole topic. I can
You
only
can't see what does our eyes tell us about who we are.
Oh well, Well, it tells us that I guess we're human beings.
It tells us what?
I don't know. You tell me. Come on, Deep Ministries. I'm waiting.
Well, you haven't been listening. You
I
haven't been
just
listening.
joined. I just
You have
joined
to
literally.
I'm
I
not gonna
just joined
tell
a
you.
minute ago.
I'm
What do
not
you
gonna
mean?
tell you.
You
When
haven't
you
been
see
saying. You haven't
this
even
on
been. You
here,
haven't even
other
been saying.
than
You haven't
skin
even
color
been
or blue
saying anything.
eyes,
So
what do
what am
you
I supposed
see?
to listen to?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're here. Yeah, we're here to talk about the eyes. Not because the eye color is blue. You're gonna take it to another level and think we're talking about blue eyes. No, everyone has eyes. Everyone have eyes. We have to get out of this divisiveness. We see everything is color, everything is separation. We came from one source. We came from one source. There's no dividing. There's no duality. It's just oneness. It's just oneness. You either understand or you don't. Okay, yes. So we're talking about the eye. That yes, it represents first creation, not creation, but the first pictures that NASA took look just like this. Because we're not even sure if the map they show us is exactly what it is. Because, as someone mentioned today, it seems as if we live in an upside down world. And even the way the eye work for the brain to interpret it, I think we see it's upside down. The brain have to see it. The brain gets it upside down and then flips it. So that's the kind of world we're living in. If you know about your eye. And yeah, and the dark spot, with so many times that dark hole in the spot, uh in the eye, is that where we are? Everybody say it's darkness, it's whatever, is that's where creation happens? That's where we're projecting our world from? Mm? That's why they tell us we're connected. You know, sometimes you're thinking one thing and the other person's thinking. And they used to say, no, we're thinking alike. Great minds think alike. That's what they used to say. That's what they used to say. So, yeah, and I shared a dream that my mother got to, and another side, mother got about that she said, wherever your eyes go, wherever your eye go, the body will follow. Yeah. So that tells us that there's a divine creator behind us. This body is, anyone can take it wherever it goes, wherever your soul goes, wherever your consciousness goes, you know. So sometimes you wonder if our controllers know how these things work, except only us doesn't understand how these things work, you know. They understand. When I heard Elon Musk said, "Oh, the towers they use them to move our consciousness." So, what are they doing? Are they moving our consciousness, sinking our consciousness deeper and deeper? Is that what happens in 2020? Is that what happened in 2020? Are they sinking our consciousness lower and lower? So that's, I don't know, for some people. What about those who are rising? What about those who have knowledge of self and have knowledge of who they are? Who's not ready to swallow everything they're dishing out? You know? What if somehow that's what's stopping it? Yeah, does the rising consciousness save just our planet so we can come into the knowledge of who we are? And another thing about my mother's dream that she got too, it tells us that this is what they even in our world, if wherever our eyes go, our body will go. You know, it just tells you that the universe is mental. We're living in a mental universe, and if if we want whatever we want, we have to feel it, we have to think it, and our body will follow. So it just shows us that um, what they call it, manifestation. Many people are big on manifestation. 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 Our true manifestation is, because the body is not going to do anything until the eyes can see it. If you want healing, that you'll have to feel that healing. You have to know that you're healed. The body's not going to heal unless you know that you can heal. There's a knowing that has to take place. And there's if you want riches, you have to know that you're rich. Because our soul is using our eyes to communicate with us. So what the dream is telling me is, listen, you have the power. You have the power that whatever you want. The body can't do nothing without your eyes, your soul, your divine self. You can't do anything. You can't move if you're not moving. So I was thinking also, I have a friend in a nursing home. I'm like, that's why when people go in the nursing home and sit down, that means they're not creating, they're not wanting. Let's say they're not wanting. That's how their body starts. I don't want to say die, but it's like getting ready to die, because you're just there and you're not doing anything. Or even if you're not in the nursing home, you still have to be wanting stuff. Wanting. You want that home, you want that family, you want that great job. You still have to want it. And when you want it, it's not if, you got to know. You got to know that, listen, it's going to happen. So we're here always, always. And that's why you see some 90-year-old get up, go to, they still go to bingo. They still go to physical therapy. They still go out and get their nails and their hair done. Because the body is waiting on you. And if you sit down all day and watch TV, then your body just sit there and gain weight and eat chips and soda. The body's waiting on us. The body's waiting on us. The body, if your eyes, and when you say eyes, don't just look at this physical thing. Remember, the Bible tells us the eyes is the window to the soul. The eyes is the window to the soul. So we have to see things the way we want it. See the world the way we want it, through our eyes. In spite of what we see in the physical, in spite we're worried about war going around, see it as the way we want it, because we create our reality. And everything else will follow. So if it's not, so the body will follow, the world will follow. So remember this, what's powering this body is our soul. It's the knowledge that we can do all things. We have all things. We have access to all creation. We have access to all creation. So when we go through our daily life, want the good things, want the best things, want it, see it, feel it. You know, I always talk about our emotions, our thoughts and our emotions create our reality. So see it. Don't sit down and wait, because when you sit down and wait, you're just killing yourself slowly. Who are you waiting on? Hmm? Every day, everything's coming in. Everything's coming into you every day. And you're like totally ignoring everything and be like, oh, I'm waiting. No, you needs to be wanting. Your body is ready to go. Your soul is leading you in the direction to go. What is there to wait on? Hmm? What is there to wait on? I know we live in a world where so many obstacles, and these are the things that takes us out of our divinity. This a lot of people see this eye, and they're ready to talk about, oh, whose highs is the best and who highs are the worst, because that's the world we're living in. We always have to see better than, and some is better than, and some is less than. We always have to see that. So that's the programming we're under. But if that's you, that's fine. If you want to stay on that form of programming where you have to see better and you have to see best and you have to see less than, that you could stay on that programming. That programming's gonna wear out pretty soon. Because let me tell you, if you understand who our creator is, the true creator, I was thinking the other day, if you can't love one of your children better than any, why you think our creator can love us, anyone better than any, in spite of what we do? You have mothers and parents out there whose children have done the most outrageous things, and they can't leave them. They can't stop loving them. And it's the same thing with our Father. Jesus tell us, if you who are wicked know how to give your children good gifts, what about your Father in heaven? You know, basically that's what he said. What about your Father in heaven? So if you want to know, basically that's what he said. What about your Father in heaven? So if you want to know who God is, look at you as a parent and don't think God is any different from that. All right. So if you still wanna, if you still wanna in your divisiveness and think some is better, when you see this channel, you can keep going. You can keep going. Okay, Saint.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm 36 and I promise to be respectful.
Okay.
I'm 36 and I promise to be respectful.
Okay. What do you have to
When
say
I
about
was
this
little,
topic?
I'm curious. I've never seen this topic, and so I'm here to learn.
Okay. It's and this eyes the picture. When I saw this picture, it's not about, I don't know anything specifically about blue eyes, red eyes, or green eyes, nothing like that. I just saw this picture and it reminded me, someone showed me a picture of NASA. The first picture NASA took probably in the 1700s or 1500s, and it looked just like this. It looks just like this. That this is what our realm looks like. This is where we're living at. So this is why I like this picture, because I try to find that picture about NASA, and I couldn't find it. So I chose this eye because it gives me the same look that I saw. It looks just like the first picture that NASA took and said, this is what our realm looks like, before they change it to a ball. This is basically what this topic is about. So I'm just trying to say, is this really what our realm look like? What does our eyes tell us about who we are?
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not like reading eyes or knowing anything specifically
No, it's better.
about
It's
what
a
our
better
color of our
reflection.
eyes tell us. Yeah. And I was also
Well,
sharing a dream that my mother had, and where someone told her that wherever our eyes go, our bodies will go, you know? So it just seems like our eyes have a deeper meaning. The eyes is connected to our soul. And I know in the Bible it talks about the eyes, the window to the soul. So this is what this picture really is about.
I like that it's a blue eye though, because what I see when you're saying all that is from a
Uh-huh.
biological standpoint.
Uh-huh.
The Earth is round
Mm-hmm.
and the eye is round, and it's a good, healthy one, at least a good, healthy planet that's inhabitable for other good organisms, has lots of water, or is blue.
Yeah, it reminds me of the ocean.
hmm
Yeah.
Especially where there are pigmentations that are connected to each other, because everything is connected biologically on Earth. The whole system. Um, that's what that says to me. It's a reflection. I'm a creationist. I believe that, or yeah, I believe that God created everything, including us.
Yeah.
And when we look at biology and science, we see patterns and order, because our God is a God of order.
Right.
And you can see some of his personality. And yeah, looking at the color iris of this eye, you can see reflections of his other creations in the patterns here.
Oh,
And
yes.
so
Yes.
I think for us to truly believe in him and act in ways to learn to become more like him and become more Christ-like, um, we need eyes, good, healthy eyes that are in similar patterns to what is surrounding us, so that we can be of one purpose and one mind with him.
Yes, and understand this creation too, that even the most minute thing is made with precision. And as I like I think there's a law of the universe, as within, so without. What's happening inside of us, like our eyes, is happening in the wider world. So everything is created
Mm.
um, with love, I would say, with love by our
Yeah.
Creator. Yeah, with love. Yeah, and that's my point. We just have to see it. Too long we've been told, I put this eyes here and I'm getting people talking about which eye is the best, you know, which eye is the
Yeah, I heard your
yeah,
monologue about decisiveness.
yeah, which eye is the best is 20/20 vision, right? That would be the best high, because they could see pretty well. So, but we live in a society where everything has to be graded, everything has to have some form of value. Um, so we could think something is better or something is less. We just got to see everything as God's creation.
Another thing I like that you said was the direction that we look in is where our body will go. And
Yeah.
that made me think, if we're looking up, look up, child, then
Mhm.
your body and your actions will go more towards God. But if it's down, looking down on others, or you're focused on the negative and being put in the ground one day, yeah, that's where your life and your attitude is going to go. But
Yeah.
something else that stuck out in my mind is sometimes when people get into a little bit of trouble and they're being investigated and they're being interrogated, they will read their body language and signs, and a
Mhm.
lot of what they look at is the direction their eyes go in while they're
Mhm.
talking. Sometimes it can indicate the truth,
Yeah.
stress, lies, um, things like that.
Love.
Our eyes can give us away.
Yeah, yeah. You could tell someone affection for you by love. The way they look at their eyes. I know I like to look in the eyes, but there's some cultures
Oh
too
yeah.
that we're taught don't look in the eyes because it's sacred. Don't look in someone's eyes. So when
Or
they're
there's
talking,
animals. If you look them in their eye, that means that you're ready to go. Let's pounce, buddy. Or if
exactly.
your pet if your pet looks at you a certain way, depending on the breed and species, then it means they love you. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Or look at you. Oh, I need to go outside in the bathroom or to the bathroom. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so and you mentioned something earlier. I know there's a debate about flat Earth and
Yeah,
the Earth round, is the Earth flat. I don't get into that because I really don't know. Because I see this, you can see this round, you can see it flat. Everything is perception. It's out the way you see it.
definitely.
Yeah, it's the way you see it. But based on everything you've seen in creation, oranges are round. Flatness is that a geometrical shape of creation. If you want to say flat like a dish or something, but roundness, like oranges, apple. The shape sometimes
Mm-hmm.
can tell, but I won't get into the debate that is the world flat, is the world round. It doesn't really matter in any way. Um, yeah, the world we're living in, we want to know finite. We want to know how things work and all things work, but we have to see physical, and we have to see it through the eye of the Creator also.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is a great topic. Thanks for letting me come and discuss with you a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too. Yeah, thank you, my girl. Yeah, so yeah, we're just talking about our eyes. So, I know I don't stare at my eyes in the mirror. We don't look at it enough. And I just wanna let us be mindful of our eyes. I think our eyes shows us, if you're out there and you're raising your consciousness and you're raising your vibrational frequency, I really think you could get a lot of answers from our eyes. Our eyes, our eyes, not just physically. And someone mentioned earlier about what about people who are blind? Yeah, people who are blind, that's why they could still walk. They're not seeing the world physically, but it doesn't seem like they're missing anything. It doesn't seem like they're missing anything. They're still, their senses, their other senses, and still at a heightened, the other senses is heightened. And if you go deeper, we have more than five senses too. Because these five senses is just like for the flesh. What about our spirit? What about our soul? You know. So there's other senses. One I really like is what the Bible talk about, is that's what we have to do. What the Bible call it? Um, oh my gosh, I can't remember what the Bible called it. That's another sense, like to understand what's going on in the world right now. You know, we have to understand, we have to, like what we're talking about, our eyes, we have to look at the eyes and see what it's saying. Your government is saying something, you have to look through what your government is saying. Does this make sense? Discerning. That's another sense. That's your spiritual sense, discerning. We have to be able to discern what's going on around us, because this is the time we're living in. It's important for your soul. It's important to understand that your soul is the driver of this body. Yeah. The soul is the driver of this body, and it's totally ignored. When you say, thank you, Jesus, it's your soul. When you pray, it's your soul. When you pray and get something, it's your soul. It's that divine aspect of you. It's that divine aspect of you that is driving this vehicle. is driving this vehicle. And that's why I like the eye. I wish if someone saw this live that they could, and they've ever seen that picture. I can't find it, but NASA have a picture that shows what our realm looks like. And after watching that movie, um, what's it called? What's the movie? Recently came out. It's one of those Marvel comic movie that came out recently. Yeah, one of those and the guy was went into his dark side, and his true self was in that darkness. In that darkness was his true self, and his dark side is just creating an havoc in the world. And my discernment, when I see that, my discernment is just showing me that in everything, because we all come from the divine source. There's a true aspect of you. Don't see everyone as bad. I know it's the world we live in. Everyone's bad. Some is good. Some is better. What that movie showed me, that within that darkness, the true self is there. Who we truly are is there within this body. That there's a true aspect of who we are, and to get rid of the darkness, you have to reach the inside, the true what the person is within. Do you want to help someone? Speak to their divine self. Speak to the soul. Don't speak to the physical aspect. You have the spiritual aspect of that person. Speak to them. That's how we help. That's how we help someone. And then and that's why that sin, there's no sin. Sin is just what your physical body, the dark aspect, the ego aspect of yourself is doing. That's not who you truly are. So we held ourselves, oh, we're sin and we're sin. There's no sin. So we held ourselves, oh, we're sin and we're sin. There's no sin. What you call sin is, and our Creator knew that this was going to happen, because it's just like Christ. You put it happen because it's just like Christ. You took the Christ consciousness and you put it in a physical body. We're gonna and the other part of it, we're not aware of who we are. You think our Creator didn't know that we were gonna do some things? But that aspect of you, you're going to leave it right here, and then you're going to go home, go back to who you really are. Do you have to account for it? Yes. You can also do it here. And that's why you see when people go to jail, some come out a total different person. Yes, some people come back the same as they went in. But some people come out a totally different person. And that's why I did a video a couple months ago. Listen, we don't need jails. I'm looking at the way everything are right now. We don't really need jails. We don't really need they set up government system. We don't need governments. Don't ever think that we need government to for anything. We don't need them. We don't need cops. We don't need soldiers. We don't, because we think we do, because we don't know who we are. Oh, you might be saying, well, deep ministry, people going to do this and people going to do that. No. There's our Creator created a safeguard system in us. When I said there's no sin, He knew that we were going to behave a certain ways certain way. And in we behave in a certain way, if we allow the divine being that we are, we would have found, we would have, without the stress of cops and everything that the world is throwing at us, we would have found our divine self. We would have found that, listen, this is how it was set up for us to go back to our divinity. Karma, Miss Karma, they call her. She is the divine cop. What she can do to us, it is more than what a jailhouse can do or cops can do. You think death is punishment? I don't know whoever thought death was punishment. Death is not punishment. So we have Miss Karma. The Bible tells us, for every what you sow, you reap. For every cause, there's an effect. We didn't need all this. What this does, the system, the government system, the jail, it take us out of our divinity. We depend on these government systems for reformation. That's what we do. We depend on them, and the divine, our divine source already have that safe in place. Have that in place for us to return to our divinity, to help us get back to who we are. We're here. We're in a school to learn of self. We're in a school. We're here to learn who we are. That's why we're here. Yeah, that's who we really are. Let's see how long we're 52 minutes. Okay. Yeah, that's who we are. We're here to learn. We're here to come into our higher selves. We're here not to take this world so serious, not to depend on government. I can't wait every day. I pray for us to come to the knowledge of who we really are, the divine beings we are, the gods we are. We're not the God, but we came from that God, just like our children came from us. And we're creating the world that we're in. We're not rich, we're not poor, we're not sick. Just by changing our minds and our thoughts and and that's how we create the world that we want to live. Our eyes, as you see this eye, it's not about blue eyes or brown eyes or dark eyes or whatever. It's all that our eyes represents that the realm that we live in. And I shared earlier in a dream that my mother saw, and the young man was like, wherever your eyes go, your body goes. Your body's the weakness, everybody. Your body's the weakness. Wherever your eyes go, your body goes. So the eyes is the window to the soul. So wherever your soul, your consciousness goes, your body goes. And I think the controllers know this. And I think we've been switched from one consciousness to the other. Unknowingly. Go find that video with what's his name? That tell us that what happened in 2020 is just our consciousness moving from one, and the lack of taste and the lack of the symptoms experienced was our consciousness catching up. It was just catching up. The towers that we see and all that, it's, let me go lightly. I don't want to them to flag my account one more time. Yeah, so observe your eyes. Observe your eyes. The eyes tell us so much. The eyes tell us who we are, the realm that we live in. Our Creator create us unique, wonderfully. We're beautifully and wonderfully made, and as within, so without. If whatever is happening inside of us is happening in the outside of us, and don't identify too much with this reality. This reality is coming to an end. That's why I don't want anyone on my channel talking nonsense. It's too, we're living in such a time where if you're not talking about helping others raise their consciousness, if you're not talking about love and unity and togetherness, well, as for my channel, you could just keep swiping. I'd rather have one person on here than have a bunch of contrary. Oh, if you're still asking me, what if this world is real? Something's wrong with you. If you don't understand the world that we live in, you have work to do. If you still see the government up there and you think they have our best interests, something's wrong. You have work to do. If you read the statistics and what the news is showing, and you think that's real and you take it for gospel, you have work to do. All right. So that's it for me tonight. And thank you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks.